Making your own principal sauce bases is one of the cornerstones of modern fine dining restaurants that most people never realize. A restaurant will have a variety of these sauces that are kept on hand in the same way that home cooks will have bottles of ketchup and mustard in their refrigerator. These sauces are concentrated flavor combinations that may have taken hours to prepare and may only ever be used as a tiny dash in a more complicated recipe. These sauces are almost never revealed in published cookbooks. One reason is because 99% of the readers would not invest that much time and energy into making up a sauce that will only be called for at a few drops in a final dish. So cookbooks either omit those ingredients or they substitute something as best as possible, such as a packaged barbecue sauce. This is an example of one such key sauce, and despite the name, it has fantastic applications in many other cuisines aside from Spanish.
Okay, you're ready to begin. We've got celery, red onion, red chili peppers, some garlic. Of course, the garlic, I hope everybody knows you got to cut this little nib off so that it doesn't turn bitter. We've got the tomatoes. We've got a pan that's heating up. We're going to start scorching these onions. I'm going to cut these onions into rings. We're going to scorch the onions and the chili. Okay, this pan is now smoking hot. I'm going to break up these a little bit. And the chilies, I'm just going to cut the green stem part off. Otherwise, they go in whole. This is a common technique in certain cuisines. Not very often do you see this in European cuisine. You see it more in Mexican and Russian cuisine. The idea that you actually want to scorch these ingredients. You want to cook them on a dry pan until they actually burn a little bit. Of course, the question is, how hard is this going to be to clean up? Well, some of the scorch will get picked up with the, don't do this in a Teflon pan, but some of the scorch will get picked up in the next stage when you've got the sauce kind of bubbling away, and it will dissolve off the bottom of the pan. You're going to be left with a little bit of a cleanup, but it's not as bad as you might imagine. So you're starting to get some good brown. Look at this onion here. This onion here, you can see how brown black it is almost. This is good. You can see you get some black here building up on the chilies. Give it about 5 minutes. I know it's painful to watch and it makes a lot of smoke. It's part of the flavor. You gotta go along with it. And after it's been in for about 5 minutes, you start to get some pretty serious marks on there. You're starting to get some serious charcoal here. Then you're going to add the oil next. This is pretty good. There's a lot of smoke coming off of this. I'm going to add about an ounce of oil, about 30 grams. As soon as this simmers down a little bit, I'm going to add cumin seeds. It's almost like an Indian recipe. You put cumin seeds in the oil. But it's not Indian. Cumin actually went to the Americas from Spain. Spain was using it before the Native Americans and the Mexicans. It's not one of the New World spices. A lot of people don't know that. They think it's mixed up with the Mexican foods, but actually it came from Spain to Mexico, not the other way around. Now, I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika. As is the case most of the time with paprika, you almost always want to cook it in hot oil. It's part of the necessity of how you're going to get the flavor correct. If you add it to something that is mostly water, or you add it at the end, you'll have a very nasty raw paprika taste. Well, you know, if you like that, it's okay. And scrambled eggs or something, it's part of an accepted flavor. But in general, in dishes, you want to cook it in hot oil. You can see there's a lot of scorch here on the bottom of the pan. I'm not going to worry about that too much. It'll get picked up as it continues to cook. Now we're going to add the tomatoes to this. And you can see this is pretty burny. It's not really burnt, but it's getting close there. I'm also going to add the celery to this. Okay, chopped up just into big pieces. As this starts to cook down, now we start to pick up this fond, this scorch marks off the bottom of the pan. They're going to start to go into the sauce mostly. Not entirely, but mostly. This is also the point you can add the garlic and salt. You need about a teaspoon of salt. You can just kind of estimate it. Also look for my cocktail book, Cocktails of the South Pacific and Beyond, Advanced Mixology, available through Amazon online.